Hello, everybody, and welcome. I have a very special treat for you here today. By popular demand, I am bringing you my Final Fantasy XIV job tier list updated for Shadowbringers, and I'm going to be using the only criteria that the people have been clamoring for should I play this job. Let's get going. So these are going to range from, oh man, that looks like so much fun. Look at the job action trailer. I have got to pick that up and play it. Maybe to, nah, I always get this to max level. I'm going to level it up and see what happens. Maybe it's the kind of job where you already have the soul stone and you look at it and say, I may need room for another soul stone in the future, so you just delete it. Or maybe it's so bad that not only do you delete the soul stone, but you call all your friends and family, you call everyone you love, and you say, please, for the love of God, delete the soul stone for this job right now. If you don't, I will hack your account and I will do it myself. I can't think of any jobs right offhand that might fall into that category, but just in case they do, I put a trash tier right here. That's where they'll go. All right, so Paladin. Paladin is a great job for someone else to level. You know how golf is a lot of fun to play, but it's not fun to watch? Paladin is the exact opposite of that. I love to see Paladins. Everybody does. If you're a tank, you look at a Paladin and you see another cooldown. If you're a DPS, you look at a Paladin and you see a safety net in case you forget how to manage your aggro. If you're a healer, you look at a Paladin and you see someone you don't have to heal after their invuln. What is not to love about having one in your party? And I hear Paladins out there going, but we get wings. You do get wings. But you know what? White Mage gets wings too, and at least they can move. So Paladin, as far as playing it, it's just okay. Warrior. Warrior has a big, huge, hard axe. They've been meta for a while now, and if you've spoken with any warrior players, you know they will talk to you at length about the size of their latest fell cleave. This can get annoying unless you're playing it. Warrior is a blast. Oh my goodness, you have to pick this class up. It is a DPS class that somehow got mistakenly classified as a tank in game. Its icon is still blue. This hasn't been patched yet. Don't listen to the haters. They're going to yell things at you like, use your cooldowns. Maybe they're trying to help you out. You forgot to pop Thrill of Battle before you used Upheaval. Thank them for their input and move on. Unleash your inner beast. Play Warrior. It's just a blast. Dark Knight. Dark Knight is the edgy boy. It is the poster child for Shadowbringers, and it got a big facelift and some extra love. But more than that, you know what it got? It got inner release from Warrior. That's right. Dark Knights have been listening to Warriors go on and on about their fell cleave, and they've been sitting there brooding, which they would have been doing anyway because they're Dark Knights, but now they got inner release. I think it's called something else, but nobody really knows. Anyway, Dark Knight just got an upgrade to its darkness. It got an upgrade to its damage. And know what? That's all you need to know. It's God tier. You have to play Dark Knight. Unleash the darkness. Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker is a tough one. There is a good case to be made. We don't have all the info yet. All we have is a lot of gameplay footage, reports from everyone who attended Media Day, and all the tooltips for every skill in the job. So some people may ask, do we have all the information we need to make a call on Gunbreaker? And the answer is absolutely. Because it has a gunblade, and that is all we need to know. Have you played Final Fantasy VIII? Did you like Squall? I didn't like him either. Nobody did, but that's not the point. Everybody liked his weapon, and that's what you get if you play Gunbreaker. So it is a solid class. Play it for the gunblade. I think it's a tank. Who really cares? It has a gunblade. Go. Scholar. Scholar is an absolute blast. I love playing Scholar. Scholar is probably at the peak of its game right this moment. Moving it as Shadowbringers, it looks like they took a hit to their DPS kit, but they got a buff to their healing kit. One thing you know for sure, 100% of the time, there is going to be a Scholar in any serious party. And the best part about playing Scholar, you don't have to do anything. Do you know in the past, you actually used to have to cast Adlo and Succor to shield your party? Now, the fairy even does that. Where did they hire these things? So you know what? The Scholar itself is just okay. It's not that great. But that fairy is God tier. and it's good enough to drag it all the way up there with Dark Knight to the God tier. Oh my goodness, Scholar, play it. Astro. Astro, you're going to hear from the players, has a simplified card system heading into Shadowbringers. So they say that it's simplified, it's not engaging. Let me tell you a secret. All Astros do is fish for balance. Now, I know they might get a spear and throw it at the bard or the monk, but that's all they're doing. They're fishing for balance. Don't let them tell you otherwise. And so Yoshi P heard the community and said, you know what? I'm going to be like Oprah. You get a balance, and you get a balance, and you get a balance. Everybody gets a balance. And if you get a balance, but it's not the balance you wanted another balance, you can keep redrawing. And if you don't like that, you can actually turn it into a minor arcana, which right now either does a heal or a damage ability based on just a 50-50 proc. But moving into Shadowbringers, instead, it's going to turn into a balance too. So if you don't get the balance you want, you can turn it into a minor arcana to get another balance that's stronger than the original balance. And if you get all three of the different types of balances together as a reward, you get an AoE balance. So I think we can say more than anything else, Astro is very, very balanced. It is a solid pick. Oh, oof. Please forgive me for that. All right. White Mage. I'm going to be the first to admit I love the aesthetic. They've been really leaning into the identity of the holy and light magic. I confess I'm a little biased. I've mained White Mage since 2.0. They did lose a kind of bad OGCD, but their healing kit otherwise was buffed. It actually looks pretty good. They got a front-loaded healing on Medica 2 as well as Regen. Obviously, they got a buff to Asylum. They finally have some mitigation. All this is great. They are the king of healers. They are the absolute powerhouse healer in a game which does not require you to heal. White Mage is trash. Do not play White Mage for any reason. If your friends try to talk you into it, those people are not your friends, and you should not associate with them. Friends do not let friends play White Mage. Moving on to Dragoon. Dragoons had an up and down history. Oof, I'm sorry. In ARR, they spent most of their time at the bottom of Titan's Arena after being hit by a landslide. Now, in Ultimate Titan, for example, it spends most of its time up on the platform. Since it can't get knocked off the edge anymore, it's just out on the edge in that little sludgy stuff. It's still dead though. Fortunately, someone slipped word to the devs that Dragoons had been dying for years due to animation locks from jumps. So, having gorged himself on Dragoon's suffering for long enough, Yoshi P threw them a bone and shortened the jump animations a lot for Shadowbringers. There has never been a better time to play Dragoon. It is awesome. Monk. Monk has been waiting for years for Grease Lightning 4. Increased damage, increased speed. It's all the Monks dream about. They finally got it. But you know what? That doesn't matter. Monk gets a Hadoken. If I saw correctly in the job action trailer, they get a Hadoken now. No further research necessary. It is God tier. Samurai. They got a nut. How did they get their damage buffed again? Well, it looks like they got a damage buff. They got some more slashy weeb moves added. And I watched the job action trailer for Samurai and I said to myself, you know what? Who cares? Samurai is garbage. They have the least party utility in the game as of Shadowbringers, but historically, they have not topped the DPS charts. Will they in the future? Nobody cares because they won't be in your party. Samurai is bad. The people who play Samurai are saying, I am here to bring your party down. I know you guys have put in a lot of work, and I am here to see that that work goes to waste. Sure, you may play the melee DPS with the lowest skill ceiling and the highest DPS ceiling, but you're not going to reach it. You're a samurai. Don't even bother. Save yourself the embarrassment. Stop. Get some help. Play a real job. Trash. Ninja. Once again, Ninja is doing what it does best. It is applying Trick Attack. No one knows what it does after that or before. Ninja can die as long as they do not miss their trick window. It looks like they get some sort of cool shadowy duplicate thing, but that doesn't really matter because from what I understand, it will not affect their ability to trick attack. Ninja players may also be into some other activities enjoyed by submissives. Do you like LBing? You may enjoy Ninja because, again, no one cares about your personal DPS, and if you complain about LBing, they will only chuckle and ask if your trick window is coming up. Thank you to all the ninjas. I truly love having you in my party, but I do not swing that way, so avoid a ninja. Black Mage. Great damage, not a lot of utility. More than certain classes, but it does deal the most damage in the game right now. So it has a higher skill ceiling due to having to optimize movement and know the fights. And if you're good at it, then congratulations. You have selected a class which Yoshi P personally loves and mains. And you know what? There is no safer bet in the game than betting on a class which is favored by the man himself. So Black Mage is a solid pick. Red Mage. Red Mage is for those people who like to ride the fence between a DPS and a DPS with one or two subpar healing skills. It has an instacast res, which granted can be useful. However, Vercure is a trap. Don't use it. If you cast Vercure, they got you. You were tested, and you failed. Red Mage is flashy and cool. It is straightforward to play. It gives you a taste of melee, ranged, physical damage, magic damage. It is the jack of all trades and the master of none. But it is not worth it. Don't put yourself in a position where you may be tempted to Vercure. I am looking out for you. Avoid Red Mage. Summoner. Like Scholar, Summoner uses a pet, which admittedly does not do your entire job for you as it does with Scholar, but you do get to play several different pets throughout your rotation, so that's fun. Dreadworm Trance becomes Firebird Trance later, and you'll hear some summoners complain. They say, when I rolled Summoner, I really wanted to get into the fantasy of insta-casting my direct damage spells and keeping my dots applied. That is the core identity of Summoner, and I hate to lose that when Dreadworm Trance is turning into something else. But fortunately, for people who wanted to summon things as a summoner, the devs listened to those one or two people, and they actually will be summoning things instead of not summoning things now. So this is exciting. They now summon Bahamut. They summon the Phoenix. They still summon Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. You know what? Don't listen to the haters. You want to summon things? Summoner is your class. Play it. It is going to be awesome. Bard. Bard is an interesting animal. I personally love the fact that when the devs put Bard into the game and designed it as the most mobile class, with just a little bit more mobility than Machinist, but it is the most mobile class in the game. They also made it the class that has to spend the most time staring at its hotbars, which is hilarious. It is both cruel and brilliant. I love the devs move in this regard. Bard is also super meta. It probably will be so moving forward. It gives the whole party buffs all the time. So not only do Bards have to be in every party, the devs get to sit back and enjoy as Bards get hit by AoEs, and people who don't understand the class go, why'd you get hit? Well, you know what? Working as intended, there is a place for people who love to get hit by AoEs. Bard is just okay. Dancer. Okay, now I know I said Ninja was the ultimate bottom job, but Dancer may have a few things to say about that. This job is new, so a lot of people are drawn to it just for that. Dancer focuses on making one person happy with their buffs, fluffing them, if you will. They look to combine the mobility of Bard with the selfless, submissive nature of the Ninja. So you're getting in on the ground level of what may be the first dedicated buffer fluffer in the game. So I say do it. Do it, and be sure when you use that ability closed petition that you have me selected. I expect to see all the Dancer buffs on my bar, or there will be bullying. I'm going to drop you guys an awesome because you know we have each other's backs. Machinist. This is a tough one. If this were the start of Stormblood, Machinist would have caused me to create a tier below Trash, well, Samurai would go down with it, but still. This isn't Stormblood, this is Shadowbringers. So thankfully for Machinist, someone on the dev team went back and played Final Fantasy VI, and they loved what they saw in Edgar's kit. So they just right-clicked, copied, and pasted into this game. What does this mean? Basically, Machinist got a steampunk supply drop. They get auto crossbows, flamethrowers, bioblasters, drill, and I think they got some kind of a small modification to their turret. I'm kidding. They can summon a Gundam. So, Machinist has a whole steampunk arsenal, and they summon a Gundam? Yeah, no further research needed. Machinist is god tier. Do you disagree with my list? Well, you are wrong. Don't at me. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.